Let's see what cursed stuff Espen has decided to throw at me. Let's go ahead and increase the volume of that.
I need something small. Maybe a stick of deodorant, maybe some mascara, and you think, I'm gonna go to Target or Walmart or CVS, and I'm just gonna quickly pick it up, head back home. You get to the Target, Walmart, or CVS. You head inside to grab your stick of deodorant, and it's locked behind glass.
Let me in. Let me in.
So then you have to walk around like a toddler looking for your mom after you...
So it gets locked behind glass in areas where there's a higher rate of theft. Like, that's pretty standard retail stuff, right? Now, granted, sometimes they lock them up because there's a higher rate of black people, which ain't great from an optics perspective. But, sure, let's go ahead and see where this is going. I mean, the video is called I Love Leftist Logic, so I guess we'll see where it's going.
You got lost in the mall to find an employee who's willing to actually open the glass for you to pick out your stick of deodorant. It's demoralizing. It's quite frankly embarrassing. And a lot of us will ask ourselves, why is this happening? Well, many on the left...
Wait, how is it demoralizing to just have to ask to open a case? Like, I've been kind of upset in my local area because the lubricant is kept behind a case, and oftentimes there's not actually a way to get to it during the hours that I would normally be going to Walmart, because the people who control the cases tend to go home early, even though controlling the cases literally just means that somebody has a key. But, okay. Axel says sometimes darker skin tone makeup is locked behind glass, but lighter skin tones aren't. I haven't seen that. Everything I've seen has been area specific.
Will tell you it's due to racism or classism, but I have a different explanation and a much simpler one. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better.
Wait, it's due to so it's not due to classism or racism. So oftentimes they'll lock it away in places that have a higher propensity of black people, because the thought is that those people will commit more crime, and because the thought is that those people will commit more crime, they will try to protect their stock from those people. And then as far as classism, again, oftentimes areas that have higher rates of theft have higher rates of theft because they are areas with less economic opportunity. So it is a form of classism. Yes, it is there for the purpose of protecting stock for the store, and that is a reasonable thing, but it is done as a way of profiling the people around the store. So okay, let's see where it's going.
Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into this video, if you'd like to support the work that I'm doing on this channel, I have a Patreon. The link's in the description down below. Sign up.
Or you can go to DDLG Playground.
Now, there's a video that's gone viral that actually sparked this discussion. So without further ado, we're getting into that.
Tell me why it just took me an entire hour for this single bag of items. I'll tell you why. It's because they're essential. And apparently now my Target locks away all essential items. So while you could get like $40 La Roche-Posay or makeup that was sitting out, my $8 body wash was locked away, as was my deodorant and my husband's body wash and his razors and like the basic things that I went to Target to get. Behold, the dystopian nightmare that is my Target now. Look at it. And I, like many other former Target lovers, was planning on perusing the fall items, maybe sniffing a candle or two, maybe buying what I didn't need, but I was literally fighting for my life in that store. I was so desperate to get out of there. And then when I finally get to the end, there's a giant line because about one employee left. One lone employee was not opening cabinets and was manning the checkout register. So the self-checkout line is all the way to the back of the store.
So again, this is an experience that many of us have had, right? You're going to the store, you're trying to get things and you can't anymore because you need a babysitter essentially to do your shopping. It's interesting that her conclusion on this is that they're simply choosing to lock up essential items instead of thinking that maybe people are going into the stores and stealing those items more often than others. Like, to me, it's quite obvious. Why would Target want to be putting their stuff behind glass? It's extra work for them and their employees. They have to pay for the supplies to lock their
So is it... Wait, hold on. But isn't it more likely that the essential items are the ones that will be pilfered then? If you're in an area that is economically disadvantaged, then that area is more likely to experience more theft as just a basic happenstance of people not having money and still needing to live. So Wouldn't it make sense that both of those things are correct? They are locking away essential items, and also there is more theft? Like, I fail to see the point of the video so far right now. Like, I don't... Am I missing something, guys? Am I missing something important here that I'm too tiny and smooth-brained to understand? Because, as far as I can tell, both of those things can be true at the same time. Also, oh, God. Buddy. I am not part of your posse. Goodbye. Anyway. Just weird stuff. I don't know what take I'm supposed to have there other than both of these things can be true at the same time. Let's go ahead.
Products behind the little glass that you have to open every single time. And all in all, it just makes for a worse experience for their customers. Do you think that's what these major corporations and companies are aiming at? They want you to shop there. They want you to actually buy their products. But when people come to those stores and steal the items instead, guess what Target has to do? Take action. And the action that they take is soon to become your dystopian nightmare. So there are people to blame in this instance, but it's not the ones that you think. Now, this video ended up getting tons of responses and very interesting ones from leftists in particular.
It's not the ones we think.
And apparently now my Target locks away all essential items.
Y'all know that they've been doing this to things that Black people, especially Black women, need since like the dawn of time.
I mean, yes, they have.
But you and I, didn't care. We didn't say shit then. Not a damn thing. We were just like, quiet. Never saw a problem with it.
I mean, that's generally how the world works. If we are not affected by it, we tend to not think about it.
But we're big mad now. Real concerned.
I knew. The white allies were gonna come out in full force on this one with this exact narrative, and we've seen this many times before. You have to ask yourself, if you're walking into a store and you're seeing things like, I don't know, black foundation, hair products, things of that nature, locked up, why? Why would they do that?
Okay, so I'm at my local Walmart, and I'm just looking at the makeup section, and I noticed this. And I'm looking at the concealers, and you know, they're all normal, but then once you get down to the darker shades, they have little security tags all over them, but they don't for the lighter colors. So Walmart, tell me that you're racist without actually saying that you're racist.
Let's go and take a look here. Some stores end practice of locking up black beauty products. Oh, wow, it's weird. So this is the thing that has been happening. Okay. New York, drugstore chains Walgreens and CVS say that they will stop locking up beauty and hair products aimed at black women and other women of color, joining Walmart and ending a practice at some stores that has drawn the ire of customers. We're currently ensuring multicultural hair and beauty products are not stored behind locked cases of any stores. Okay, so we know for a fact that this has in fact been happening at multiple places that are not just Walmart and Target. And this has, in fact, been happening at places that carry multicultural items. And they have specifically been locking up the multicultural items. So if we know all that to be true, then does it stand to reason that something sus is going on there? Unless there's something else you think we should find, unless there's something else you think we should be paying attention to there besides, you know, that. I just, It's very, very weird to me, the implications there. Like, are we supposed to think that it's just black people have a predilection towards stealing, or what? Like, what are we supposed to do? Also, I like how the idea of, oh no, the white allies are here. Like, we're just pretending for a minute that it's okay for anybody to talk about this so long as they're not the people who are typically not affected by it. That is my gun. There we go. Anyway. So that's good that they're stopping? It is. Like, I can understand a store going, our beauty products are being targeted, so let's go ahead and lock them up. But when a store is locking up all the beauty products, then yeah, the implication is theft has been happening. And at that point, it's fine to go, yeah, maybe do things to stop the theft. But if instead we are only stopping the theft of the black products, as it were, the only thought I can have is that sounds a wee little bit racist. Just a wee little bit.
To a store, a black customer is the same as a white customer. You walk in, you pick your products, you pay the money, and then you leave. Green is green, baby. They don't care what you look like. They don't care who you are. They don't care where you come from. All they...
And yet, we've had this particular history, ma'am, of specifically black beauty products being locked behind. I didn't know about this until Axo mentioned it, and I didn't even believe it when Axo mentioned it until I looked it up and went, oh, okay, yeah, that's actually a practice that some stores have been doing. That's a bit fucked up.
They want is a new customer. Now, I can think of a reason why some black products might be placed behind glass and some white products aren't, but we'll let one more leftist respond and see if they can break through my logic before we go there.
Okay, so it's just going to be black people are more likely to steal, and that's going to be the end of it. We don't actually talk about the socioeconomic pressures that lead to people engaging in thievery. No, we don't. We're not going to do that, I'm sure, because that would require a teensy little bit of nuance. No, we're probably just going to go black people have a predilection for thievery, and we're not going to go any further than that.
Happening to black people. Go watch the other video I have tagged in the description as well. But yeah, this has been happening to black people for years upon years. When I lived in the city back in 2019, everything in the Targets were locked up like this. I hated going to the Target in the city because there was so much surveillance. And when you live in the city, most of the time you're using public transportation. I know I was. And so you usually have a bigger purse or a bigger backpack on you. So that surveillance is even more extreme, especially if you're black. Y'all don't care when it happens to black people. You'll justify it and say things like, well, you know, those areas do have higher crime rates. It should just be a lesson for them meaning black people. Also, things being locked up in general has been a thing for
I don't understand the problem with this. Like, this is fairly accurate.
This country uses predominantly black spaces as a social experiment. Actually, scratch that. This country uses black people as lab rats, and y'all do not care. And when black people talk about our experiences, y'all label us as conspiracy theorists. I say this time and time and time again. You have to look at where you are on the social ladder. Honey, if you're all the way at the top of the social ladder, are you gonna know what's going on at the bottom? No. And that's why y'all act all surprised when the shit that's happening at the bottom comes to the top.
Not an argument in sight. Not a piece of logic in sight. It's so crazy because...
Wait. How is there no logic in sight there? That is literally somebody going, these are my experiences. This is what I've had. What the fuck, you dumb bitch? Okay, no. Look, if somebody is saying, this is what I've experienced, you don't go, not an argument in sight. No, you don't fucking do that, okay? When somebody is telling you that this is the lived experience that they've had, you go, okay, I'll take that into consideration, or okay, obviously there's something that I might have missed, or I'm sure you feel that way. Let's get to the bottom of why. There's all kinds of ways you can respond to that are not just, there's no facts and logic here. Okay, let's listen to the rest of whatever the fuck this is.
If you are a black person, let's say, living in a city where this is constantly a problem for you and you are trying to abide by the law, go to stores, get your products and leave, the people that you should be mad at are not the stores. You should be mad at the people who are responsible for the stealing that brings about the glass cases.
I mean, no, not really. Okay, so look. Let's say the people who are stealing are doing it for survival. Can I be mad at that person for stealing for survival? And you might tell yourself, well, they're definitely not stealing for survival. They stole a TV or something like that. I don't know if they're stealing that so that they can sell it to make sure that they've got money for their family's food. I don't know that. I don't know their position. I don't. which is why I tend to stick to the truism that if you see somebody stealing something in a store, no, you didn't. Especially if it's food. I said you should be mad at the stores. Yeah, I'll be mad at the people who are doing it. I'll be mad at the people who are actually doing the thing that inconveniences me. If somebody needs to feed their family and so they steal things, and then, like, the store decides to take measures against that, I'm not gonna be upset at the victims. Stores aren't people. They literally lack the capacity to be victims. But let's continue.
That is where you should direct your anger towards the people that are actually creating the problem. And I will say it again, it is not within these companies' best interest to lock up items behind glass. It makes your experience worse. It makes you want to go there less. What they are concerned about at the end of the day is their profit. So if they can profit with everything open and allowing you to run around the store, grabbing all the things that you like and buying it, that's what they will do. But they can no longer do that. And that is why stores are closing all across this nation in metropolitan areas. And just in case for some reason you don't believe me that shoplifting is a massive epidemic across this country, here's some evidence.
Smashing display cases, scooping up...
Wait. So you're not going to bring up statistics or anything. You're not going to bring up, like, a well-written article on the subject. You're going to play another video. Ma'am, do you know that videos being played by the news are not necessarily evidence for or against any particular argument? Because they have just as much bias as you do. So I remember Marietta. All right, I used to play Pokemon Go all the time in Marietta, and I remember the experience of watching the people from the news patrolling the area, basically waiting for something to happen. And eventually, lo and behold, it did. Somebody who, of course, was from the red team. Team Valor, of course it was a Team Valor person, decided that they were going to hop on a pole. And drunkenly hop on a light pole and scream, "Go Team Valor." And then the light pole fell down and crashed. I happened to be there that day, and the news covered it the day that I was there. There's actually a couple times that the news in Marietta had me on there. One time was when Pokemon Go was just starting, and I was part of an organization called Pokemon Go Atlanta. Another time was when I was picking up trash around Marietta, and I got caught on camera picking up trash, and I had to talk to the newscaster about why I was picking up trash randomly in an area that I didn't own. It was because I didn't want us to be kicked out for playing Pokemon Go at 3 or 4 in the morning. So I've had the experience of watching a newscaster basically wait for something to happen, wait for a story to unravel, because there's been enough people there for it to happen. So seeing a video play of a shoplifting happening or a riot happening or anything like that is not indicative of an epidemic, because I've watched a similar scenario where nothing bad happened day in, day out, but the one day it did, definitely the news was there. They were ready for that because they were there every day. So this is a disproved myth. All the footage is from years and years of events.
Loads of expensive bags and clothing.
This dude is... I can't believe I'm seeing this shit.
He's just walking out and stealing something. That happens.
Back in my Rite Aid, and there's nothing to steal because this Rite Aid, like so many other Rite Aids, is closing down because everybody stole everything. And the workers here don't know if they're getting jobs.
So wait, hold on. So the thievery is what caused that to happen, and your evidence is that a guy in a Rite Aid said so. That's what we're going with? The guy in the Rite Aid said so it must be true? And this is one of those scenarios where even if it is true, this is not the kind of evidence that I would accept for it being true. Not even in the slightest. Oftentimes, cities do have a higher amount of theft, but that also comes down to cities being more expensive to live in, and there simply being a higher density of people in cities, which leads to there being more theft, because there are more people who can be economically disadvantaged. So it wasn't like 2 or 3 Walgreens that closed down. Yeah, I'm being told by this woman that it is a epidemic of stores being shut down, but what's being shown as evidence is a couple of video clips and not actually anything else. In fact, actually, let's go ahead and do a fun thing. Let's go ahead and do a fun one. We're gonna pull up here where I will hopefully be safe from any ne'er-do-wells trying to come and tickle my butthole. Right here should be nice and safe. So let's go ahead and see here. Epidemic of stores shutting down due to shoplifting. Let's see. Major change including Walmart. Target have blamed rising crime for their decision to location, with Target most recently shuttering 9 stores across 5 cities. Let's see here. Shoplifting. So let's see what we have here. We have 2 articles here, one from Fortune magazine and one from CNN. According to the CNN one, theft is happening, as it always has, in stores and in the streets, but the narrative that shoplifting has exploded since the start of the pandemic is unfounded. In reality, retail crime has not meaningfully gone up nationwide in the past few years, and has even gone down in many places. Okay, but I would like some stats. I would like something I could sink my teeth into. Let's see. Oh, you want me to... No, we're not doing that. Sorry, buddy. We're not doing that. So we're just going to do this. Retail theft rate by year. Let's see here. New York Times has an article on whether or not it's actually surging up. Let's find out. Average monthly shoplifting rates in the United States. Wait, hold on. Things have gone down. Oh, that's weird. Shoplifting rates went down over the last few years? Holy, what in the strain? What is going on? Is this yet another another instance of a right-wing commenter on YouTube making a bunch of statements with no actual evidence and just a whole bunch of rhetoric? Is this another one of those? Also, hi, tipster. What a strange scenario we find ourselves in. If shoplifting rates have gone down over the last few years, but we're supposed to believe that rising crime rates are the reason that those shops are closing. Weird. Man, murders have gone down too? Even better. There seem to be several reasons shoplifting has received so much attention lately. Events in New York tend to receive outsized scrutiny. It is the country's biggest city, a big retail market, and the headquarters of much of the national media. Another city where property crime has risen is Washington, D.C., where many journalists as well as politicians also live. Interesting. Interesting. Razor says USA Today has a good article on it. New York Times got caught lying. I mean, I'm not going to say that any news outlet is more or less likely to lie. But it is funny to me that I am supposed to believe that this epidemic is why everything is shutting down. And yet, when I look up... Oh, wow, I died in the store. Oh, well. Anyway. And yet, when I actually look up data on it, I find that actually those rates are going down by year. They are up a little higher than they have been at, say, the beginning of the pandemic, but they're certainly down overall. And if those shops were able to operate pre-pandemic just fine, I wonder what other factors might have happened post-pandemic that have caused them to do that. Also, do we really need to be the people that believe everything that comes out of the mouths of the spokespeople for Walmart and Target? Do we really need to be those people? Because, like, I don't believe most of the shit that comes out of any corporate person's cess mouth. Not really. But I also didn't know that shoplifting was seen as a mostly female thing, so this is a misogyny issue. I didn't realize it was seen as a mostly female thing. That's weird.
Congratulations, losers.
And a lot of this is happening. Why? Because we've gone soft on crime. These people can basically go around stealing whatever it is that
No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. We haven't gone soft on crime. Do we actually have any evidence? Have we gone soft on crime? Fucking hell, let's see this. Wow, we have the appeal saying, why do Americans think we're too soft on crime? Let's see here. Ongoing serious pieces which we asked. Let's see here. Punitive approaches to public safety have come back in style. Progressive prosecutors have left office in jurisdictions like San Francisco. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait. Since 2020, we've gone tougher on crime. Is what we're finding here? Wait. No. Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we like this? What? Nobody's soft on crime anymore. Soft on crime and debated Americans' criminal justice system. Then we have from Cora, why is America so soft on crime? So I'm not finding, like, when I'm looking at actual news articles or stuff like that, I'm finding that America's not soft on crime. But then when I find, like, Congressman Dan Newhouse says soft on crime policies are killing communities. Also, in what ways would you want America to go harder on crime? Like, what do you want people who are shoplifting to get just like the shit beat out of them, like the Hodge twins do? Is that where we're at? Are we at that stage of reality? Is that where we're at?
That they want or need, as some leftists might say, and nothing happens to them. They're never really arrested for the most part, and if they are, they spend a moment in jail. No. So hold on, I can actually speak to this one. It's not that they're not getting arrested. No, what's happening is stores are not arresting people immediately. What's happening is a lot of stores are actually waiting until people have hit a certain threshold. As self-checkouts have become infinitely more popular, and as our habits with self-checkouts have been less scrupulous, we'll say, as a society, Walmart and other places that use a lot of self-checkouts have actually started just recording face data on people, because you can see the little cameras whenever you are at the self-checkout. So they'll record you doing your self-checkout, and if you sneak a couple items there, they won't get you immediately. They won't get you immediately. They will not. What they will do, however, is they will document that you tried to steal something. Well, you successfully stole something. And then what they will do is, over time, once you have hit a certain threshold, in some states it's $500 worth of merchandise, then they will seek punitive actions against you. Instead of trying to throw somebody at you to stop you outright, they will try to seek a legal battle with you. One which they will win, because they are the giant mega corporation that can afford the good lawyers. Also, like, it's a cut and dry case when they have the video evidence. It's not that we've gone soft on crime, it's that a lot of our policies have been, we'll just go ahead and say, a little smarter about it. As opposed to having the underpaid loss prevention associate try to come and just dick tackle you for stealing shit, which is a thing that a lot of Walmarts have gotten in trouble for doing, mind you. We instead have a scenario where they're trying to seek bigger fish as opposed to chasing all the smaller fish. Because if you're worried about, crime on a grand scale, you will always do better if you are seeking that bigger load as opposed to chasing every single person who tries to steal an apple from you. I said Gothics is like they don't need to steal. I don't think... Is this Gothics? Just to go back out on the streets and do the same thing the next day. And people are gonna have to contend with the fact that a lot of this is happening in leftist areas or blue-run cities. So how exactly is it racism if the very people or side that claims to care about black people is responsible for these things being locked behind glass?
Wait. How is everybody who is left-leaning responsible for a store's decision here? How does that work? I've got to know how those mental gymnastics play out. I really have to know how those mental gymnastics play out. Because that doesn't sound right to me. Not from, like, a moral standpoint, but from, like, that doesn't sound factually true. Said blue cities and states have lower crime rates. Do they? Interesting. Let's see here. Which areas of America have higher crime rates per capita? Memphis, Tennessee, Detroit, Michigan, and Little Rock, Arkansas? That doesn't sound like blue cities to me. Alaska, the reddest, one of the reddest states, has super higher crime rate per capita? What the fuck? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, it can't be that. Razor, are you shitting me? I mean, the barest of Google searches seems to imply that you're correct, but huh. So the leftist quote whatever the fuck that means to this person, Democrat-run cities have the lower crime rates? Let's find out. List of United States cities by crime rates. Mobile, Alabama has the highest crime rate. Jeez, Anchorage, Alaska with the 132 rate of rape? What the fuck? Alaska, we got a lot of California. That's to be expected. Why is it taking so long to get to New York? Savannah, Georgia. Huh, okay. Illinois, Louisiana. Hey, New York sitting at 67th. That's not top 50. Okay. What a weird scenario. What a weird scenario. Razor says, Guardian headline, Republicans claim Democrats can't keep us safe. Crime data disagrees. Man. This is so weird. It's so weird that someone can be so wrong on so many levels, and a quick Google search shows it.
I get the frustration, right? As a law-abiding citizen who goes into these stores, I would love it to be an easier experience for me. It is quite frankly...
So, I'm just going to say this right now. The law is not actually a gold standard for shit. It's the stuff that we agreed on that we think makes society work best. And oftentimes we're wrong about that. Slavery being legal was the law in the United States. Like, law-abiding citizen doesn't mean jack squat to me. Sarah Tagarita says, source, I was looking for intro music. Wait, hold on. What are you talking about, Sarah? So no, God's real Mobile really does have so much? Yep.
Embarrassing to have to go and get a babysitter employee to grab products for you. But it's only going to get worse if we do nothing about it. Soon,
so what are we supposed to do?
Happen?
So what are we supposed to do? Hold on. What are we supposed to do? Like, as the average American citizen, is this a call to action that if you see somebody stealing something, you should try to stop them, not knowing what their scenario is, not knowing if they've got, like, a kid who just needs fucking formula? Like, are we doing that right now? Razor says that list of states is alphabetical. Oh, okay. Okay, you're right. The list was alphabetical. Did not realize that. Can I sort this? Can I sort this? Let's sort this by... What should we give a shit about here? Larceny theft? California, Nevada, New Jersey. There's New York. Okay, it does at least breach top 10. It does at least breach top 10. That's not me looking at an alphabetical list like an idiot. Look, I'll at least admit when I'm wrong. So New York is up there, but apparently, according to Razor, the crime data suggests that actually, like, overall cities are safer per capita. I want to say that's hard to believe, but my options are Atlanta and not Atlanta, where I am. So you'll never see anybody steal essentials?
Gonna have to head into the stores, and Target's gonna have to hire a bunch of employees, and you'll get an assigned one to help you do your shopping because everything is going to be locked up. Soon, going to the store for us is gonna feel like an inmate going to commissary. And that's because we're all getting punished for other people's behavior. And this is sort of foundational to leftist logic, and I'll give you an example here. We had an issue where a lot of students of color were not meeting their academic standards when graduating high school in some states. Instead of dealing with the issue and saying we need to work with these students to have them actually meet the standard, instead they just lower the standards and say you don't have to meet a certain threshold in order to graduate or to move on to a higher level.
And that's exactly what's happening.
Okay, so here's the thing though, those standards have always been bullshit. Our education system in America was built during the industrial period so that we could crank out workers, not actually so that we could have a more educated populace. There's actually some arguments to state that the United States education system produces less educated people and not more educated people. People that can regurgitate information, surely, but cannot give you critical thinking at all. Like the No Child Left Behind program. Utter fucking failure that was. Why don't these corporation scumfuck stores just lower their prices if they're so concerned about theft? Because that would fuck with their profit margins. Look, it's all just inflation, right? It's all just a little bit of inflation as a treat. So, no God, her logic is making my brain melt. Yeah. You see, here's the thing. It's like all conservative logic. It's committing the same cardinal sin. Conservative logic all works under the exact same banner for the most part. It's pure intuition. It is pure, raw, unadulterated vibes. That has always been the way that it works. Why is Pokemon of the devil? I don't know. The word monster's there. That sounds good. It is entirely gut feelings. Always has been, always will be. No! That we've looked up several news articles during this while I'm playing a fucking game of Fortnite. Meanwhile, on the other side of the evidentiary tray, we have... Look at these couple of videos here. Instead of any data, stats, or any of that, no, we're not doing research. We're looking for hyperbole. Hyperbole sells. Hyperbole gets people freaked out. Also, saying, like, soon everything's going to be locked up behind a glass case. No, it's not. Fucking doomer shit like that doesn't do anything but sell people on the United States becoming an apocalypse because of the irresponsible black people. Actually, it was held to a higher standard than the rest of my class. Was neurospicy. It's called I Love Leftist Logic. Oh, the video itself, yeah. I just...
happening here.
We have a lot of people who day in and day out are going out into the streets to commit crimes, and instead of saying you need to see your time in jail and you need to actually be held accountable for your actions, we go, you know what?
Can we instead have a conversation about how broken the jail system is in the United States? And how it doesn't actually stop people from committing crimes? It doesn't do anything to stop people from committing crimes. It never has. Our prison system has never been built for that. Our prison system has, for the longest time, been built for the sole purpose of providing a supplementary labor force to the United States that is tax-funded. That is the purpose of the United States prison system. It's not anything else. And if you don't believe me, then please look at what the 13th Amendment actually is and actually does, and come back to me. We are a nation that is built to churn out workers, and we are a nation that vilifies people who we do not deem as workers. And when people are not doing the worker thing, and therefore have to rely on other methods to survive, we then punish those people for using those other methods to survive. And then we turn them back into workers using the prison system. So the U.S. prison system is the new slavery? Yeah, and the new slavery looks a lot like the old slavery. It looks a whole hell of a lot like the old slavery, doesn't it? I know there are people who are going to be like, well, don't you want those prisoners going to work? No, I want those prisoners rehabilitated. I want those prisoners being used as a lesson in empathy, as a lesson in learning, as a lesson in humanity doing better by its own. But we don't live in a world where that gets to happen. We live in a world where they are a supplementary labor force.
Let's just decriminalize that and instead put them out on the street the next day. And I want to make it clear, while this may be an issue that's
what are we decriminalizing? Hold on. I must have missed the part where anybody argued decriminalizing any of the stuff that's being talked about here, unless we're talking about decriminalizing drugs, in which case it's fine, whatever. Like, okay, as an example, okay, I don't really do any drugs or smoke or drink or anything. I live fairly straight edge. I will take a sip of somebody else's alcohol when they're having it, maybe once in a while, and I've had edibles in my life all of twice, and it is such a once-in-a-blue-moon thing for me to even consider doing one of those things, because it turns the rest of my day off in terms of productivity, and I like being able to wake up, do things, and go to bed knowing I've done things. So she's talking about decriminalizing of petty theft under a certain threshold, but we haven't decriminalized petty theft. Petty theft is still a criminal activity, and nobody's had the argument about decriminalizing petty theft as far as I know. What we have done is we have created a threshold that we want, that places like Walmart want to prosecute people under, but that's not decriminalization of petty theft. That's waiting until you can catch a bigger fish. So when did shoplifting become such a political issue? Fuck if I know. I don't know what's in the minds of troglodytes. I don't claim to know that. This person here. Oh, that was a good dodge. I wonder if you can do it twice. Is it because shoplifting costs corporations money and politicians are paid by corporations? They are. They really are. Oh, well, I guess I... Huh, okay. We doing this now? Are we just doing the Fast and Furious shit? Let's go. Like, obviously, we're here doing this now, buddy. Let's go. Where did you run to? There ain't no way that you're behind this fucking rock. Of all things. Buddy. Buddy. You had this the whole time and you didn't use it to protect yourself from me? And now I have it? Okay, I'll take it. Anyway, back to the video.
Predominantly affecting black communities, it's not just black people who are responsible for shoplifting. In fact, I saw a story the other day that says Gilmore Girls star Adam Wiley just got arrested for shoplifting in a Target.
It's getting ghetto out here.
And if we don't do something about it...
Wow, don't worry, it's not all black people, but the minute that the white person's doing it, let's go ahead and talk about... let's make another fucking black joke. Okay, sure. I guess, you know, if you're the type of person that can do it, just do it while you got it.
We're the ones who are going to be subjected to the consequences. So here's the natural progression of things, right? People go and steal essential items and they get locked behind glass. Then they go and steal things that aren't so essential, as we've seen happen all over the United States now. And then everything is locked up. And if that's not enough and people can't keep their hands to
but that doesn't happen though. Like, everything doesn't get locked up. I've not seen evidence of everything getting locked up. I really haven't. I don't know where that particular evidence is coming from. Where is this person shooting me from? Oh, you're here. Man, it's so disorienting to have somebody hit you with a melee weapon in a shooter. It's an anecdote she can't back up. So apparently she's referring to Proposition 47 in California. Okay, so what's Proposition 47? Is it going to be again like the time that California said that they wanted to turn getting a what was it? to turn spreading AIDS to a misdemeanor instead of a felony because it increased the likelihood that people would get tested? Is it going to be one of those things again? Because if it is, I'm going to be really depressed that that's what constitutes a good argument. Oh, that's over there. I ain't doing that shit. I don't normally buy cologne, so I don't have to worry about asking someone to ask for to unlock a case. Let's see here. What is Proposition 47? 2014, the ballot measure. The law made some non-violent property crimes where the value does not exceed $950 into misdemeanors. That's not decriminalization! That's changing a goddamn category. I am so bored. I am so bored.
No, and that's why y'all act all
them out on the street the next day. And I want to make it clear, while this may be an issue that's predominantly affecting Black communities, it's not just Black people who are responsible for shoplifting. In fact, I saw a story the other day that says Gilmore Girls star Adam Wiley just got arrested for shoplifting in a Target.
It's getting ghetto out here.
And if we don't do something about it, we're the ones who are going to be subjected to the consequences. So here's the natural progression of things, right? People go and steal essential items and they get locked behind glass. Then they go and steal things that aren't so essential.
Yeah, this is the slippery slope fallacy. We're moving past the slippery slope fallacy.
Across the United States. Target, CVS, Walmart, Walgreens, Starbucks, you name it, they are leaving major cities. And if it's happening to the major corporations, we're talking billions of dollars, they're deciding to leave these major cities. What do you think is happening to the small local businesses, the mom and pop shops, who can't afford to be stolen from? They will simply just be forced out of business. They don't have the option
really
to pick up shop and move,
happen.
pun intended.
Hold on, no. So what tends to happen is people are willing to steal from corporations more often because they are faceless. They are faceless, and they do not have your best interest at heart. If a Walmart leaves an area, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Mom and pop stores are not getting vandalized as often as these places are because they are places that are local to a community. Walmart is not your local fucking community. Never has been, never will be. It's a parasite on your community. Yeah, steal from Walmart, not Joe Shack. Said Oompa Loompa Doobity. I just, okay. I'm not reading that.
Plenty of criticism to levy out to major corporations. I'm not a fan of them, but here I understand what they're doing. When you live in a society that emboldens criminals, we are the ones who become slaves to the criminality. We are punished by glass cases or our favorite stores leaving or having to clutch our bag every time we're out in public. And that's just the reality of it.
Our favorite stores leaving. Oh my god, my favorite store is Walmart! Oh my fucking balls.
This goes. So we've seen what happens when we allow for progressive policy or restorative justice in our major cities. It ends with us being punished. So maybe
wait. Or restorative justice. That we're going after restorative justice. Just real quick, let's go ahead and just make sure everybody's on the same page here. Restorative justice seeks to examine the harmful impact of a crime and then determine what can be done to repair that harm while holding the person who caused it accountable for their actions. What?
Soft on crime.
Maybe we need to start holding people accountable. Maybe we need to root out all the criminals in our communities so that we can go back to normal life. And if the world right now or your local Target is looking like a dystopian nightmare, it's leftist logic.
It's not leftist logic that's causing it. My fucking god. This us versus them stupid shit is the reason that our country is as fucked as it is these days. These people who cannot take the time to understand what makes us different from one another does not make us that different from one another. Jesus hell. Maybe we pass anti-price gouging laws could be good. Yeah, that could be a start. Jesus hell. So don't know Shirley is on the corporo side. I'm not a fan of these corporations, but our favorite stores like Walmart or Target. Seems sus to me. I don't know. So Espen wanted us to watch that for some reason. I like having my sanity, so I'm gonna instead not anymore. That was the end of the video. So my favorite store is my LGS, and LGS would be a pretty good favorite store. It's a good thing to have. This is a bot. Nobody's that bad at aiming. Nobody is that bad at aiming. Not a single person. Anyway, that's it for that. We're just gonna say insert end of video tagline here. Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability a Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Britzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Nixie-chan, the Oberon team, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.